Hey guys, this is Peggy coming at you from the southwestern Oregon mountains. Hope you're all doing well. Everything's really nice here. Sunny day. Little bit of rain. Boy, not a little bit. We had a whole bunch of rain these last few days. Washed all the snow away, but it's beautiful. Can't wait for spring. I just looking so forward to the roses blooming again in our garden and all our flowers. Birds are happy. Got the bird seed out. What I'm doing here is on my iPad and Affinity Designer, something that I've created. It is a vector-based image. As you can see, as I click on all the layers, I have identified each one of them, titled them, so when I do need to change anything, I can readily do that without any hesitation. I know exactly where to find it, etc., etc. For example, here's the cheekbone shadow, and I'm going to click on the actual teardrop shapes that I've created with my vector tool shapes, and how I want to show you what the actual look what the colors look like. Isn't that kind of garish? Isn't it? It's huge, it's dark, it's more than what I wanted for this look to be, which is the new trend. I'm going to take it back down so it's not a popper as it is, down back to about let's make it 7-8%, and it blends in a little bit better because the look I'm going for here is the trend where it's minimal, not really any eyes or mouth, but I couldn't resist to give her a little bit of a personality. I do not particularly care the no eyes, no mouth, no face features, just the outer exterior skin, body, hair, something to identify that person that you're actually painting, digitally painting. But I decided to give her more of a personality. That way it kind of, what's the word? It resonated with me anyways, and hopefully with those who might want to purchase it. Like I said, this is a vector-based image, and I can easily resize this. Now this is at, let's go back to that. The size of the document started at 8.5 by 11 at 300 DPI. I always do 300 DPI, and it depends on what I'm actually creating as far as the size to begin with. But what's kind of cool is when you do a vector with all the curves and the nodes, you can resize this and not lose your quality. Okay, so I'm going to copy this layer, and I'm going to copy these two so I can go ahead and take that into a larger document that I've already made. It's at 15 by 15 and RGB. And for whatever reason, I'm really slow today. Uh, I don't know why. I probably need to take some of my files out because it's pretty well loaded up with quite a few things, and I am hooked up to my Cricut now, so I'm sure that has something to do with it also. As far as information stored, I need to take it off of my iPad and store it on my separate SD on my laptop, which I go through my iCloud service. I'll show you that another time, how to alleviate your problem with storage and all that jazz, okay? Without having to pay for it. But back to here, this is my 15 by 15 size at 300 DPI, and it's at a bilinear for the sampler. And what I will do now is paste what I just copied from my other 8.5 by 11. As you can see, there she is. She appears there. I'm going to go to my top arrow, which is the move tool. As you see, it clicked. I'm going to put my finger on my iPad and then take, first I guess I would have, let me take it to the middle and find the crosshairs. There's the crosshairs, the green and the red. I'm going to take this and put my finger down so that I can resize this image without it going askew, and it's the exact dimension from either side. Does that make sense what I just said? You don't want it to go warp or just catawampus on you. You want exactly the same. Now, what did change when I brought it over like that was the texture that I used to create in her in the original. It didn't show up, so it shows up here because I had those texture images locked, and it didn't go back. So what I'm going to do is look for my black color and fill it in. And then I'm going to take these images and I'm going to go up to my burger bar on the top right. It's on linear burn, and I'm going to take it down a little bit. I'm just going to play with it a little bit. There you go. Boom. 20. Let's take it to 25. The top one, I'll make that 25 also. I'm going to take the highlights that I used to create. I can take it off completely and just leave the textured look there. Since this is minimal, I might try taking that down a little bit. Let's take it down to even more, maybe 10, 11%. Take this group here and take that down also. That's the burger bar on the top left, and then slide your opacity down to the left to make it less noticeable and vibrant. As you can see, there's just a hint of shading and highlights in there. Okay, so that's basically how I work in Affinity Designer, using vector images for items that I want to sell, and I don't want to lose the quality of my base of the image that I want to sell and create, because you can easily put a 15 by 15 on a t-shirt, maybe a cup. You know, you definitely want to go to your print-on-demand site that you're using for your mock-ups and see what they require for the size. But having a vector base, it's really cool. And what I will do is with these, each individual one is I will group them and flatten them after I decide what I want to do, or leave it like that. I always have the original. So that's what I've been up to. Next video, I will share with you Trouble Never Looks So Sweet. This is for a great-grandson. I'm going to change that up a little bit. Not too happy with that as far as it's going to be a silk screen. Not too happy with the font. Maybe a different, not an arrow here. This is all comes from Affinity Designer. And then I have the shoes for the young lady. Isn't she cool? Oh, trendy, trendy. In gray with lots of texture. Anyways, lots of good things coming up, available on the website. Website's my print on demand, and I will see you guys soon. Share with me any tips and tricks you've been finding out with using your iPad in Procreate or Affinity software. And if there is something that you prefer on your iPad, please share with that a link to where we can find it. Just don't spam us, okay? Always have to have something in your comments to explain to us why you use it or what you've done, and share what that link is, where to find it. Inspiring creative minds, learning something new every day.